we're speaking this morning to Datuk Dr Anwar Hassan. Thank you so much, Datuk Doctor, for speaking to us on the Light Breakfast this morning.
Oh, thank you. Just call me Anwar, okay?
Okay. So, Anwar, you're 77 years old, your father, your grandfather. How happy are you with your life right now?
I'm very, very happy with my life. Yeah. My children or grandchildren might be disappointed with me, but I'm happy.
Why?
Why?
No, maybe I don't do things that they would like me to do. Yeah.
Like what? What do they want you to do?
Well, for example, my wife wants me to stay home most of the time now that it's COVID, and I'm not used to staying at home. Need to go out. Yeah.
But tell us about, I mean, you've lived a very fulfilled life, I'm sure. Tell us about some of the most memorable parts of your life.
Well, I was working in 3 organizations, and each organization has had a memory that lasts. I started with the Department of Veterinary Services, and I was involved in a German technical cooperation program and also in international things. Like everyone has heard about the WHO, right? World Health Organization. And there's also a World Animal Health Organization, which is based in Paris. So I used to go in and out of Paris and so on, and that was quite exciting.
Oh, so you're a vet?
Yeah. I was. I've left 20 years now. Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you retired now fully?
I don't think I'll ever be retired. You retire when you're dead, okay?
Oh my God!
And
I like that concept.
Well, I was with the Department of Veterinary Services, and then I was working in a factory doing quality control work, and that was exciting because I was working with various cultures, Filipino, Nepalese, and all that. And then I was with the what they call a totalizator board. That is a horse racing board.
Oh.
Yeah, they had a project. One of which was to improve the clinic at the Perak Turf Club. So I was based here. So I've done a bit of this and that, but nothing much about anything.
Sounds like you did a lot, actually.
No.
What do you like doing in your free time? Or do you have any free time to do other things?
But I make sure that I'm not free, okay? And at the moment, I'm basically interested in anything related to education. So I'm a member of 3 clubs. One is my alumni, the Andersonians Club. I'm from Anderson School. Maybe JD remembers Anderson.
I do. I'm from St. Michael's.
Okay. If you're from St. Michael, then I got a friend, huh? Okay. The Andersonians Club, and then I belong to a charity club that is called Club Bakti Gunung Kledang. We call it Club Kledang for short, but it's not a hiking club, It's a charity club. And then I'm also a member of the Royal Ipoh Club that is near St. Michael's.
Yes, near the library.
Yeah, near the library, yeah. So all these 3 clubs have various activities I get involved in. And there are also other things that I'm supposed to do and I don't do, so I don't have the time yet. So I really don't have the time. I'm more busy now than I used to be when I had a regular work. I think by nature I'm a guy who looks for trouble, and create my own problems. Yeah.
You look for things to do to keep yourself active.
Either that or things come looking for me, Yeah.
But how important do you think it is to stay active? When you get older.
I think you have to stay active, otherwise you're dead. You're retired, when I wake up in the morning, I must have a reason to wake up. And if I go out, I must have a reason to, I need to have a sense of direction and what I want to do and things like that. I do have a informal plan on what I want to do every day. Like today at 1 o'clock, I have to be at the charity club to listen to a digital tech talk and things like that. And,
wow.
And that is my responsibility today. So my mind is preoccupied with preparations for that to make sure that seating arrangements and equipment and everything is all ready. Yeah.
Yeah, it is important to stay active in your mind. Keep your mind active, especially when you
Yeah,
grow
I
older.
think it is important. Otherwise, you have no reason to live.
Yeah.
So you're not into just going out to the golf course and hitting a few balls?
No, no, no. I've never been involved in any sports, but I'm a spectator. I call myself a silent spectator. I don't support MU, for example.
I hear you're a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, whether you like it or not. But I became a Chelsea fan just because at one time they had a Brazilian coach.
Oh, right, right.
I'm from way back since the days of Pele. I've been taken up by Brazil. So anything Brazil has to do, I get involved.
Right.
And I got involved. I got interested in Chelsea only because it had a Brazilian coach.
Right.
Mm.
So that day, Liverpool and Man United losing really badly did nothing for you.
Well, it means a lot because I expected Liverpool and Man U to do. I mean, they disappointed me.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I can't imagine what do you call Liverpool losing 7-1 and all that, and 7-2, and Man U losing. I'm used to Alex Ferguson's MU, not the
Same,
present
exactly.
MU.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me
So
too.
you're sort of taken up by the manager rather than the club and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it was a horrible result. If I had betted, I would have lost a lot of money. Yeah, yeah,
Now, let's get to some more personal questions, Anwar, if you don't
yeah.
mind. We understand that this is your second marriage. Tell us about Rose. How did you guys meet?
Well, Rose was teaching aerobics at the institute, at the Veterinary Research Institute. So I got to know her, and I found her to be a very sociable person, and she's a very good dancer. and,
Was
and
that what attracted you to her? Was it
yeah, yeah,
love
it's
at
a, it's
first
a, it's
sight?
a person, it's a personality.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So and the staff at the institute liked her too. So we got into social activities and so on. Yeah.
Okay. But
And the rest is history. Yeah.
do you mind sharing with us what happened with your first marriage?
Well, I was married to a lady from the Caribbean, from the island of Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago. We met in Canada, and I promised her the earth, and we were going to get married. And then when I came back to Malaysia, I found that my income was too low, and I couldn't give her the kind of lifestyle that she expected. And also, it is a cultural shock for
Mm.
someone from the Caribbean to come to Malaysia. And I couldn't manage. It was primarily a financial problem that led to certain difficulties. And we separated because she had to make sure that our daughter, Rosanna, had a good education. So she left, and ultimately, my daughter got educated both in France and in Canada. So anyway, we separated primarily. It was not a big problem, no personal problem. It was just financial expectations that
Mm.
couldn't be met.
Mm.
My father-in-law was a deep sea diver. He dives for pearls, and then
Wow.
he went blind, and then he couldn't dive anymore. So he, we had my Phyllis, my first wife, had difficulties managing, you know. But anyway, I don't know what else you want to know.
How long were you married for in your first marriage?
Well, about 20 years,
Wow.
Okay.
but we were no more, 70 to 90, 30 years. But we were separated for 20 years.
Mm.
You know?
So it was an amicable separation.
Yeah. In fact, we are friends. We are
Mm.
friends still. In fact, Phyllis and Rose are friends as well.
Okay.
And I think a separation doesn't mean that you have to be enemies.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you may have differences in opinion and whatnot, but you can, in fact, it may even be more comfortable as friends.
Mm.
Then there is no expectations,
Okay.
no commitments.
Yeah.
Now, after you separated from your first wife and she brought your child along with her.
Yeah, my only
Um,
child, yeah.
So you were by yourself at that time. Did you
Yeah.
feel lonely and like,
No.
were
I'm
you,
married to, no.
yeah.
I'm married to my job. Okay? And wherever I am, I end up immersed, into things. And I, I work long hours, primarily because I'm not very efficient. So I have to spend more time to do what is expected of me. So it was never ever a lonely thing. And I had a lot of friends who like certain things that I do. That I would go to listen to music in various places, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, there was not enough. I didn't even have enough time to be myself. You know? Yeah.
So at that point, you weren't actually consciously trying to fill any kind of
No, no,
void
no,
in
no,
your life.
no, 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 no. Never in my life did
Mm.
I have to make an active effort to fill myself with work or anything like that. It just came naturally. Yeah,
Okay. But when you met Rose,
yeah.
there was a possibility of love again. How did that
Well,
make you feel?
well, well. That is something that happens all the time. There is no. You don't look for things like that. It just happens. Yeah.
So at that point when you met her, when you saw her, she was doing aerobics, she was dancing. When you first met her, the thought of love never popped up. It was just, hey,
Well, look,
she's nice.
I love everybody. I love both of you. You know, I mean, it's no, it's not something that I have to work at.
Yeah.
It just happens. I like people. Yeah. Some people don't like me, but it doesn't matter.
No, we've only spoken to you
And
for
we
12
already, yeah,
minutes
we already
and we
love you.
already love you as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But
So
I mean, when you felt something for Rose,
Yeah.
and you decided to approach her,
Yeah.
and she was also at that point, I guess, a single mom, wasn't she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that? Did you know that about her, that she was a single mom with 2 children?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I know her ex-husband who passed away, unfortunately. We used to work together.
Oh, okay.
Hussein and I, off and on, we used to work together in R&D programs, and we interacted at the Ministry of Science and Technology and Environment. And he was a very dynamic person. In fact, he was more or less my role model, but he was too active a person, and he was a person who thinks ahead. He was always into the future, and we had trouble catching up with his thinking. So I knew her former husband, Hussein Hassan, very, very well. In
Mm.
fact, I know him more than Rose.
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Okay. But did you then, because you knew her late husband, did you have any reservations about asking her out at that time?
No, 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 no. Absolutely no reservations. Rose is a very sociable person,
Mm.
and I'd like to think that I am too. So we fit in with anything and everything, And she's also a very good cook. Yeah, one of the things that really attracted me first when she makes what I call karipap buncit,
Ooh.
overstuffed karipap.
Right, right. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and she can cook many other dishes. She's a fantastic cook. Yeah.
Okay.
At what point did you go from, hey, I've seen her around doing aerobics to let's ask her out on a date? How did that
Uh,
progress?
it was almost immediate. There,
Oh,
there was no there was no lag phase.
There was no hesitation on your part, but was there
No, no, no.
hesitation on her part?
mm,
Maybe she had. She's not around to answer you, but well, I'm sure there is many things about me that she would have reason to hesitate. Like I have no discipline. She's a very time. She works. Her time management is fantastic, and I have many negatives, and she makes up for all my negatives. So, if you're an accountant, if you look at the balance sheet, she'll come out to be. Both of us
Positive.
will come out to be fine. Yeah.
Okay. But at that point, did you consider whether or not like other people might think, oh, he's dating again, but at an older age,
No,
you
no,
know?
no. I don't care a damn for what people think of me. I do whatever I want, and if they don't like it, it's too bad. You take it or leave it.
Okay.
I'm not selective. I'm not concerned about nanti orang kata apa, that kind
Mm,
of a thing. No way.
mm. But how about your family? Was it difficult to tell your family, um, or
No,
even your
my
close friends?
no, my family is quite sporting. In fact, my mother is a very, very open-minded, sporting person, and I could say a lot of things, but I don't think you have the time.
Next time we want to get into more detail on
When
that.
we go to Ipoh, I think we will go and visit you, Anwar.
Well, you come to Ipoh. You come, and I think you should take JD to Taman Cempaka.
Yes,
I've never been. I haven't been to like.
Yeah,
I only know Ipoh town. That's
we went
all.
to Ipoh Garden.
Ipoh
The other day
Gardens. Yeah.
we ate at Ipoh Garden at the stadium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, now that things have started getting serious with Rose and marriage was in the books, right?
Yeah.
Was it almost instantaneous, or did both of you waited a while before getting
I,
married again?
I would have difficulty answering the question, but to me, it was something spontaneous. But it took some years before uh, we decided to get married. We knew long before, since, well, I can't remember, but it's not it's more or less spontaneous actually. There was a period when I think, well, she has to also interact with her family. She's got son and children,
Mm.
and they need to accept me. I don't know how that happened, but it was my recollection is that it was not something very difficult.
Mm. So
Yeah,
her children did not oppose of your marriage.
I think they did. They did approve. I think they did approve. But this is something that you have to ask them. I
Yeah,
cannot
yeah,
speak for them.
I
Yeah, but
Yeah.
understand.
from your point of view, everything was pretty rosy.
Well, it just blended in. We walk into it. There was no time to think about what if and what else, and what
Mm-hmm.
will other people think and so on. Actually, it didn't bother me at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you bring this up with your ex-wife and your daughter?
Yes, when they found out, I didn't bring it up. They found out because when we had to go through the Sharia court, and Sharia court wrote to her and so on, and obviously she was very angry because she had no clue as to what was. Well, we were separated for 20 years.
Yeah.
It is not easy to know what we're doing. She was very angry. My daughter Rosanna was well. I had an earful,
Right.
and but as time went by, they accepted the reality. And I would like to say that the two families are together.
Mm.
My daughter and Rosanna get along very well. So it is no big deal. It's nothing. It's not a problem at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when they first found out though,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
actually when you first started dating Rose,
yeah.
did you feel as if you were, how do you say this, betraying your ex-wife in a
No,
sense?
no, 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 no. I, I'm friendly with people,
Yeah.
generally, and I can get very intimate very easily. I get involved very easily, and at no point do I feel uncomfortable, and at no point do I ask myself, what will people say, and
Yeah.
no, that those things don't occur to me at all.
Mm.
You know, no
But I
way.
guess in our culture, a lot of people will be saying things like,
On the top. Yeah.
a lot of talk out there. So you don't pay any
Maybe,
attention to that.
maybe, yeah. I'm conscious of the fact that I'm talking to a Sarawakian. Huh?
Why?
I
Why?
like,
What's wrong with
I
speaking
like.
to Sarawakian?
Well, I like the culture in Sarawak and Sabah
Yeah.
far more than Semenanjung.
Mm.
I just told my daughter I don't like Semenanjung. You know.
But you
And
were born and raised here in Semenanjung.
yeah, I was born in Penang actually, but
Okay.
I was raised in Ipoh. Um, yeah, maybe there is something in the culture that makes it a nuisance, but I it doesn't matter to me.
Mm.
I'll pick and choose what I want to do whenever. And I do whatever I like. I don't really care.
Are you a romantic at heart?
Well, I don't know what that means. What does romantic means?
I mean, like you like you romance your wife. Like
You
you buy
buy her
flowers. Yeah.
flowers, you
No,
know,
no, I don't. No,
say
no, I
sweet,
don't. No, 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 I don't.
nothings,
No, no, no. I
write
don't
her
like.
notes.
Well, maybe I am. I don't know. But I don't like to buy flowers because flowers will die and then you throw it in the garbage, right?
Yeah.
I love you already, Anwar.
She says the same thing
A
all the
man of
time.
my own heart. I already told my husband, I said, please don't buy me fresh flowers. They die after 2 days and they
Yeah,
cost so much
yeah,
and they stink up the
yeah.
whole house.
And I don't like to buy something very expensive or nice or anything like that. Firstly, because I can't afford it. Secondly, if you buy something very, very nice, your wife might think you did something, So just be natural.
So you're a realist. You're a realist and you're very practical. So the fact that the first marriage didn't really work out, you were okay with getting married again.
Sorry, could you repeat the
Because
question?
your first marriage didn't really work out, but you had no
Because of
problems getting into the second marriage.
no, the first marriage didn't work out only because of financial problems. Nothing else. We didn't hate each other. We didn't want to, no dislike or nothing. It was just I couldn't fulfill my promise. You see, I was away overseas for 7 years. I left in 1963. And for 7 years, I had zero contact with Malaysia. I didn't know what the cost of living was like and whatnot. And when I came back, it was a shock to me. I started work actually as a clerk. And my pay at that time was $137.50. I could do more with $137 in the 1960s than with 10 times more in 1970.
Wow.
So my understanding of money and what it can do and so on was all screwed up. So I thought I could give Phyllis a good life, but it turned out that I couldn't. And because she was from the Caribbean, I had to move along in circles that are mainly foreigners, and they had very high tastes. And I couldn't, for example, go out for high tea in five-star hotels very often because I just couldn't afford it. But then, what can I do? I just had to say, look.
Because of your I guess the first marriage didn't work out. Did it sort of did you bring any of those insecurities into your second marriage? Were you more stable financially at that time and you knew you could take care of Rose and her two children? That's why you decided to get into another marriage?
You're right. By the time 30 years after the first marriage, I was in a position in my career where I had a bit more income and I could lead a better quality of life. But whatever it is, I must say this, in the case of Rose, I think whatever the income, she will know how to manage. She's a very good financial manager. No matter how much, like if I'm on a pension now, I don't work, nobody wants to give me a job. So I live on a pension.
Now, Anwar, why do you think companionship is important, especially for someone who is older?
Especially
for someone who is older. Companionship.
Well, I think it's very important because you cannot be an island to yourself. You cannot be alone. You need to be connected to something in order to be buoyant.
Yeah.
So companionship is very, very important. In my case, I'm a red-blooded Aquarian. Okay, so I value friends more than family. Somehow or other, I'm more comfortable with friends.
Yeah.
And I have all kinds of friends. I have a friends to suit any mood that I am in. Anything. I've got all kinds of categories of friends to meet up with. And the companionship I have is, I'll be very frank here. I think it's more with friends than family. I don't connect very well with family because, you see, like the old saying, familiarity breeds contempt. So in any relationship, if you get into a situation where you have the too familiar, you got to sit back for a while, you know, be careful. With friends, it is easy. If I don't like you, I don't like you. That's it, you know. Or if you don't like me, it's fine. And I got other friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, companionship is very important. Otherwise, life can be very lonely, you know. Yeah.
So what is your advice then to someone who is probably looking for a companion a little bit later on in life? What will your advice be for them?
Well, you should join some social clubs. But there are very good clubs in Malaysia. There's Rotary, Kiwanis, Lions Club, you know, and I like to include my club, you know, Club Kledang. You know, when you're a member of a club, you meet people, you know, and of course you get into trouble too, but that doesn't matter, you know.
What?
Well, it doesn't matter. Getting into trouble is fun, you know.
You're a funny fella.
like I'm a member of the Royal Ipoh Club, and I serve on the disciplinary committee. When I came home and told Rose that I'm on the disciplinary committee, she laughed at me. You know, but when you're, for example, in the disciplinary committee, you make enemies. People don't like you, you know, and whatnot. But it doesn't matter. You know, I try to mold myself into people's character and get to know them. And I think in the long run, although they may not like me, they accept me. You know, yeah, they'll still say hello to me. So anyway, you must join a club, any kind of a club. I mean, you can be a shooting club, for example, you know, or a dart club or whatever club. Get involved and meet people, you know, and mix, and you'll be fine. The problem starts when you stay away from society. When you stay away from society, then you have to blame yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Does keeping your heart open, because a lot of people, no, I only had one soulmate, and then that's it for me. Then when you lose that,
Did you say soulmate?
Soulmate, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's different.
What did you wait? What did you think I said?
That's special. People have wives, girlfriends, but a soulmate, that is something very intimate.
Yeah.
Okay.
But some people lose that, and then they feel like they shouldn't be looking for love anymore.
Yeah. For some people, lost their spouse maybe, or maybe their spouse is incarcerated for life and things like that. Like, should they be looking for a companion?
Well, it depends on your upbringing and what you do at present. For example, like if right now I lose a close member of the family, I have a lot of friends I get connected with. I don't feel myself isolated anymore, and I will not miss anybody. No way.